Every 3D printed shoe seems to look like this. Real shoes aren't built like that. They have multiple parts and multiple colors. So I wanted to try making something that was a normal functional shoe. The first attempts had multiple issues, but stick around and I'll show you how I fixed it. The whole project started when Biqu reached out to me asking if I wanted to experiment with their MorPhlex filament. It behaves like normal TPU off the roll, but becomes a much softer rubber-like material after the print's finished. At the same time, I was expecting delivery of my Snapmaker U1 that I backed off Kickstarter. I told Biqu that I wanted to try printing some multicolor shoes, and they were on board, so they sent me 3 rolls to give it a try. I wanted something that looked like a real shoe and not concept art, so after some searching, I found the City Step on MakerWorld. It's listed as a casual everyday sneaker, and it looks like a shoe someone would actually wear. Before touching the MorPhlex, I ran some tests. First, PLA, just to verify that the shoe would fit. I cut the top off of the model so my foot could actually get inside because the PLA is not going to flex. The print came out great, and it had this interesting fabric-like texture to it, and the fit was good. Oh, and see this white line here? It points out a critical problem that I don't realize till later. Test 2 was a full print in regular TPU to make sure that there wasn't going to be any print issues. I wasn't sure how the U1 was going to handle the TPU. It's new on the market and only one of 3 commercial tool changing printers that's available right now. So there wasn't much of a precedent to go off of, but thankfully there was no issue at all. No special setup, no babysitting, just a clean TPU print with over 3,000 material changes between 3 TPUs and PETG supports. It ran for over 56 hours like it was nothing.
I can do this all day.
The shoe looked amazing right off the printer. But 2 problems. The sole infill was way too dense, making it heavy and stiff, and not what you wanted in a flexible shoe. The next issue came up when I tried to put it on. Within seconds, the upper started to tear off from the bottom section. And that white line I mentioned before, that was pointing to the problem that I just didn't notice. The model had a modifier inside the shoe that changed the infill pattern on the inner surface. The problem is it also changed the material to be blue. So in the slicer it looked like the blue section wrapped all the way around with enough contact area to bond to the lower orange section. But it didn't. That white line showed where the blue material was actually not really connected to the bottom at all. It was only the thin section of the wall connecting the blue to the orange pieces together, and as soon as I put any stress on it, it tore apart. To withstand the stresses the shoe would be under, the 2 parts need to be mechanically attached, so I headed over to Blender to modify the model. I extended the upper blue section down about 10 millimeters so it would embed itself into the lower orange section, and then I punched some holes through the extended piece, causing the orange section to print through the blue, locking it in place. At some point in every project, something won't go as planned. The key is knowing how to break the problem down into manageable steps. I'm putting together a guide that walks through that process step by step. It's not ready yet, but there's a link in the description to join a waitlist to get notified when it is. With the edits to the model done, I just need to run another print to make sure this would actually work the way I thought it would, and at the same time I wanted to address the density issue. By this point I made some significant changes to the model, and I removed most of the modifiers. I also added walls to the lower orange section to make it smooth. I also tried to print with gyroid infill to see how that would work. The results were good. The interlock fix worked, and I'm confident to say that's not going anywhere. But the bottom was still a little too rigid, and the gyroid infill was way too soft. The crosshatch infill was the right pick, I just needed to refine the settings a little bit more. It was close enough though that I could try using the real material, because the MorPhlex was going to behave a little different than the TPU. First impressions of the MorPhlex is it feels really cool. Kind of like rubber, not like TPU at all. And the print was amazingly smooth, you can't really see the layer lines. The infill seemed to be dialed in, but I made some changes to the sole that I hadn't tested yet, so I wanted to do another print with that. I also added walls to the sole to make it smooth, and I set the infill to gyroid to give it a little extra cushioning and have it conform to the ground for a little extra traction. At this point, I felt I had everything figured out and was ready to move on to the full print. What I hadn't accounted for was that the sole and the lower section were two different materials in the final shoe, and that would affect how it printed. After a few inches of the shoe printing, I noticed a problem. The sole wasn't supported enough due to the changes I made to it, so I had to stop the print. To fix this, I went in and painted supports all around the perimeter of the shoe to support the sole properly. Stopping the print also let me verify that the upper section was printing properly in MorPhlex, and at this point it still looked great. With the new support setup ready, I sent the shoe to print, and waited 2.5 days to see what would happen. I kept checking in, and I had a Waze camera monitoring the print, but the U1 just kept chugging along like it was no big deal.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
When the print was finally done, it looked so good. After getting the supports off the shoe, you can see there's a few cosmetic issues on the bottom, but nothing too crazy. It looks like it could use a little bit more support, or maybe the angle of the print changed. The toe of the sole is a little rough. I think it just gets a little too thin to print properly. But the rest of the shoe is amazing. The print quality is just crazy. The texture on the upper area looks like fabric, and the lower orange area is almost perfectly smooth. You can barely see the layer lines except at the ends of the print. Now the shoe may look amazing, but it's not decoration, so now we have to see if it functions as good as it looks. There's no issues trying it on. Foot just slips right in like you would expect from a normal shoe. I think the infill could be adjusted a bit to make it a little more cushioning, but it's really not that bad. It bends the way you'd expect it to bend, and it's supportive and stable and not mushy. I then had the idea to take the insoles out of my running shoe and put them in these shoes, and that made it way better. I never knew the insoles would make that big of a difference, but adding them gave them that little bit of cushioning that was missing. They still feel a little heavier than my running shoe, but not overly. They feel like a normal everyday shoe, one that's not designed to be lightweight for running. This design isn't the best for running because they're slip-on. You'd want something you can tie so you get a nice snug fit, but they are perfect as an everyday casual shoe like they're advertised. For a first attempt at printing a shoe out of multiple TPUs, I don't think this could have gone any better. Over time wearing these shoes, I noticed there could have been a few improvements. Like the sole, it's not very thick. Inside it drops down quite a bit, so the actual sole is really just underneath this black detailed area. Now, if you compare that to something like my running shoe, this whole foam area at the bottom is all sole, so there's a lot more space for cushioning. They'd be closer to something more like these Vans that have a very thin sole, so not a lot of cushioning in these. So if I was going to try a second version, I'd probably start with a thicker sole, see if I could find a different model that had more of like a running shoe build to it. And I'd also want it to fit my foot a little bit better, so I'd probably scan my feet and modify the mesh so it fitted perfectly. I'd also want to find a shoe that had laces, or modify a file so I'd add laces to it, so that way I could cinch them down so it'd be a little bit snugger. And then I'd like to try something different with the sole. Maybe try casting an actual rubber sole using a mold. If you want to see that build, make sure you share and like this video so I know there's actually interest in it. If you have any questions or suggestions for a follow-up video, make sure you leave them in the comments. Start your comment with the word shoe so I know you made it this far. And if you did, thanks for sticking around. If this is the first time to the channel and you like these kind of projects, make sure you subscribe so you see what I do next. And if you're interested in supporting my work, check out my Patreon. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in improving how your prints look, I have a full playlist on the left that goes into finishing and post-processing. Or if you're more interested in the technical side of things, CAD, AI, advanced workflows, there's a whole playlist on the right that goes deeper into that.